at least a partial victor in the Middle East when it comes to Israel and Hezbollah. But, the question now becomes, so what does happen with the conflict between, Israel and Hamas in Gaza? Does this agreement, this ceasefire with Hezbollah in Lebanon, help bring that conflict to an end, or does it backfire? And does it allow the Israelis, for example, to intensify their efforts in the Gaza Strip?
Yeah, it's one of the things I actually didn't hear him say was how that is going to be enforced and how that pressure is going to be applied.
Well, one thing that was pointed out is that there won't be any U.S. troops involved in this, although the United States is taking somewhat of a responsibility in a kind of group of other countries for making sure that this ceasefire is implemented. The devil is always in the details. So if something goes wrong, then what happens? And the Israelis have said from day one that even if there is a ceasefire, as there now appears to be, as well as about, that if there's a major violation, they want to reserve the right to go right back after Hezbollah in Lebanon. And I don't think there's anything in what the president has announced today, President Biden, that would indicate that there would be anything to stop it.
Yeah, and also he also alluded to the Abraham Accords, trying to get Saudi Arabia and Israel back on track. Not everybody in Israel is on board with all that.
Look, right now, and again, you can't divorce politics from this whole thing. What does Donald Trump promise to do on day one? He says, well, when I'm back in office, I'm going to bring peace to the Middle East. Well, easier said than done. And what you have today is a kind of counterpoint to that. You have President Biden saying, we're not there yet. In fact, we're a long way from being able to declare peace in the Middle East, but this would be a substantial achievement if is always the main word when you deal with the Middle East, right? If this ceasefire is actually implemented, and if it's a success, and if it keeps, Hezbollah in a weakened position, so it's not in a position to launch any more attacks on Israel.
Yeah, that was the other thing that I think was maybe not missing, but if the Lebanese army does take back control, how do you keep Hezbollah in check?
Right, and a lot of people probably don't realize when they hear about the Lebanese army, there is a Lebanese army, but it actually doesn't do much because Hezbollah has managed to sort of integrate itself into the infrastructure of Lebanon to the extent that it really runs the show. And the Lebanese army has not been a very powerful force. This ceasefire would put the Lebanese army more into the protector of the ceasefire.
Right, so a lot to be discussed still and still to figure out. You're right, I think this is maybe President Biden's, as he exits here, his legacy, if this really does go through.
Yeah, and because it's not likely that there's going to be a resolution of the conflict between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip anytime between now and the 20th of January. Anything, I suppose, is possible, but not likely.
All right, so more on this coming up here on KNX News.
It's the gold standard for original reporting.
This investigation is exposing price gouging hypotheticals.
Reporting that matters to you.
Scams that are costing American citizens $10 billion a year.
Here's 60 Minutes, Sunday evenings at 7 on KNX News, 97.1 FM, presented by Deluxe Life Coach, premium exterior paint for your home.
Dr. Charles Mager at Saddleback Eye Center wants to give you the all-new Laser Light LASIK exam. The Laser Light LASIK exam uses a laser to measure your eyes over 1,000 times to perfectly map your vision. I can give away a Laser Light LASIK exam to the first 14 KNX callers only, so stand by. You'll get a phone number in moments for the Laser Light LASIK exam. It's important, whether you have nearsightedness, farsightedness, astigmatism, or you just need reading glasses. And if you've been told that you're not a candidate for LASIK, you may now qualify for it with the accuracy of the Laser Light LASIK exam. It'll take over 1,000 measurements of your eyes. You must be one of the first 14 callers. This is free. Call now. 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444.
Thanksgiving to do this. Eat, nap, watch football, play slots and blackjack. Oh, if there was only a place I could do everything. Hey, wait! Now the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
I'm proud
proud to announce the Yellow has earned the coveted Diner's Choice Award from Open Table Diners.
Number 4.
2 winners get $500 cash every half hour. Play high-limit table games with the reward card. Fridays, 6 to 10 p.m.
3.
Black Friday shopping in our ballroom. Get top brands, including JBL and Juvie. Pay with cash, credit, or points. Noon to 10 p.m. the 29th.
And the number 2.
A pro football triple header. You'll be giving us big thanks for big screens everywhere you eat, stay, and play on Thanksgiving.
And the number 1 reason.
We're going country. It's Morongo's Grand Old New Year's Eve. Music, dancing, giveaways. Giddy up and get your tickets now, y'all.
Morongo. Good times.
All right, 12:53 now at KNX News. Let's get you over to Brian Douglas now. We've got a chase that's going on, and I guess an assault with a deadly weapon. Brian, what are you seeing here? I see this going to high speeds here. In what area is this happening?
We are right now in Inglewood. This is a white Maserati of all things. Southbound side of La Brea. We're underneath the metro tracks here, so we are just heading into downtown Inglewood. Regent Street is up ahead, and then you've got Manchester up ahead. Domestic violence suspect, Larry, assault with a deadly weapon, and this suspect's been traveling south on La Brea off of Jefferson. Now, here's something interesting. This cannot be confirmed, but what we are hearing, this suspect might be traveling to the victim of this whole thing, the victim's mother, in the Redondo Beach area.
Oh, wow.
And LAPD apparently is waiting at the house. He's turning around right now on La Brea because, again, this is South La Brea. As you come into downtown Inglewood, it gets busy this time of the afternoon. Now it looks like the suspect's heading back north on La Brea. So we're going to come up to Florence, if you know this area. Right there, we've got the train tracks overhead. So this suspect actually just turned onto Regent Street and is heading, northbound on Market. So again, in the downtown Inglewood area, Larry, is where we're keeping an eye on this pursuit. Never at full speed, or I should say never at fast speeds, but what's dangerous is this suspect continues to drive through red lights. So they slow down a little bit, but they go right through that red light.
And just turn around again on La Brea.
Yeah, so we're heading, actually, this is going to be Market Street North, which parallels La Brea. And if they continue north, they'll be coming up to, actually, it looks like they might be heading southbound. But again, this is downtown Inglewood. If you know this area, this is where all the shops are, businesses, and it gets very, very congested. The suspect now on Hyde Park Boulevard, heading back on North La Brea. So curious to see where this person ends up going, where they may turn. But again, if you're in the Inglewood area, you'll see a lot of helicopters overhead, no doubt about it. LAPD in pursuit of this domestic violence suspect, apparently wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. We don't know about his victim, but we are told, or we are hearing that this person may be heading to the victim's mother's house in the Redondo Beach area.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, that cops may be there, and maybe that's why he's turned around and maybe gone the other way. But some of these speeds on these streets now reaching over 60 miles per hour as he's being chased by LAPD here.
Market Street now. We're Market Street and coming back towards La Brea. So Market Street ends at La Brea, and La Brea continues south as you head out of the Inglewood area. Yeah, speeds have increased. Cops right behind this suspect, again, in a white Maserati, refusing to yield, and again, not going extremely fast. Well, 60 is kind of fast for the downtown Inglewood area, but still blowing those red lights, Larry, and that's the troubling thing. Even though it's not high speeds, I mean, any type of collision going 40, he's going 48 right now, at one of these lights, could be deadly.
Yeah, no, exactly. And these speeds and these streets, and LAPD in very, very close pursuit here. They really want this driver off the road. And we're talking certainly one of the busiest travel days of the year. And if you go south, that's toward the airport at this point, correct?
Yeah, well, it looks like we're heading north now on, we're close to the airport. It's a very busy area. Regardless, and we're heading, looks like northeast, maybe coming up to Slauson at this point. So we're at Slauson and La Brea. That's a very, very busy intersection. And again, that suspect just went right through the light.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, right through that light. And Slauson and La Brea, if you recall, a couple of years ago, we had that woman coming down the hill at full speed, ended up killing all those people at that intersection there. So again, we're north on La Brea. So this is going to put him right in the Hyde Park area. This is where the oil wells are. And this will take us, if he continues north of La Brea, this will go back down the hill towards the West Adams area and back up towards the 10 freeway.
So Adams, Jefferson, those streets in there, correct?
Yeah, as soon as we come down the hill, we'll be, you'll hit Coliseum, Obama, Expo. So, I mean, there's a lot of major intersections up here. And again, this suspect's been going right through the white Maserati. Domestic violence suspect, assault with a deadly weapon. That's about all we know on this suspect, or at least that's all we're told. And now, He is on Stalker, and this is, let's see, Stalker, a little concerning, going the wrong way. So heading east on Stalker, but going in the westbound lanes.
In the westbound lanes.
In those westbound lanes, I'm trying to get a handle here on exactly where he's headed here. So this will be Stalker. He's going the wrong way on Stalker, and Stalker's very, very busy. Here we go. This is going to be, he's traveling eastbound in the westbound lanes of Stalker, just to the east of La Brea. So here he goes. He's back on the road. Stalker, by the way, kind of twists and turns. Intersection is going to be Crenshaw. If you know this area, the old Crenshaw, I should say Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plazas here. That's the shopping center. You got the Walmart. You got so that's very busy this time of year.
Right, you got everybody out there shopping right now, trying to get some gifts for the holidays, and not here we go, blowing by LAPD again, going the other way against traffic here.
Yeah, we always talk about the pit maneuvers and so forth. So far, I have not seen any opportunity for a pit maneuver. These streets are very busy. LAPD or even CHP, doesn't matter what agency it is, they're not going to use a pit maneuver unless they know they have an area that's relatively open, because that suspect could be armed, that suspect could take off and try to carjack somebody else. So they're playing it safe for right now. Again, speed's not that unusual for Stalker. Heading eastbound, and Crenshaw will be the next major intersection that we come up to. And again, we talk about this on the radio. We want to warn you if you're in the area, because you could be going through a green light, which you have the right of way. And suspects like this, we've seen these chases where this is where we have these major crashes. They crash into somebody because they're not paying attention. And, when you're in this car, and not that I've ever been in this situation, but the adrenaline flows. And the bottom line is you're just not thinking, and nor do you care about anyone else at this point. You care about yourself. You care about trying to get away from the cops. You're caring about whatever you did, whatever crime that may be. So it becomes a very dangerous situation. Stalker now at Victoria, and that's going to put us a little bit closer to Crenshaw as we head in this direction.
Yeah.
And again, this will be the Leimert Park area.
Exactly. All right. Look, we're going to keep an eye on this, and we'll stick with you. Rob Archer's going to take control here in just a moment. We're going to get you over to the news. You're listening to KNX News, KNX FM, and HD, Los Angeles. It's 1 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There is a deal to end the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon.
This has been the deadliest conflict between Israel and Hezbollah in decades.
President Biden just moments ago.
Effective at 4 a.m. tomorrow local time, the fighting across the Lebanese-Israeli border will end. This is designed to be a permanent cessation of hostilities.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel stands ready to respond should the deal collapse. President-elect Trump's border czar is in Texas today, as Chris Fox reports.
Tom Holman addressing Texas National Guard soldiers and state troopers working border security in Eagle Pass, wasting no time in laying out the immigration plan of the upcoming Trump administration.
Let me be clear. There is going to be a mass deportation because we just faced a mass illegal immigration crisis on the border.
Holman calling the Texas $12 billion border security effort Operation Lone Star a model they can take across the country. He also had a message for those trying to block their mass deportation effort.
Don't cross that line. Don't test us.
Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
A lot of American businesses are keeping a worried eye on Trump's threat to impose tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico. Walmart CEO John Furner.
Consumer confidence increased overall. People are excited about where the economy is going. Potentially, a lot of folks obviously voted for President-elect Trump, and you're seeing some of that excitement.
There are so many Americans flying for the holiday, the FAA is opening additional express lanes in the skies. This is airspace typically used by the military. Here's Jim Krasula.
There will be record air travel this week with people coping the best they can.
I always plan to be ready for a lot of traffic and a lot of people.
It's fine. I'm like, we'll be good. I think I had a moment of delirium because I didn't remember this is how this is at Thanksgiving.
For those driving, average gas prices are down about 30 cents a gallon from last Thanksgiving.
A new survey from Pop Menu finds restaurants will be busy this Thanksgiving. CEO Tony Roy.
Just over 20% are just too tired to cook. They're busy. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, and they want to just relax and enjoy.
42% of those surveyed said they plan to dine in at a restaurant or order takeout. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From the downtown LA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is Southern California's news.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
103, I'm Rob Archer. Good afternoon. And we are following this police pursuit. It looks like the guy is out of his car now. Let's bring in Brian Douglas in the traffic center.
It looks like this may be over. This suspect now down on the ground. This suspect had pulled into a residence. This was an apartment building on West Boulevard, just north of Jefferson, just to the east of Buckingham. So we're in the West Adams neighborhood. This suspect, we actually picked this chase up on person here. He was traveling west on Jeff and turned on the Brea South, ended up in downtown Inglewood, kind of circled back because of traffic, I believe, and then ended up back at this residence. So it looks like he may have known this particular building or this particular neighborhood. That suspect under arrest. Domestic violence suspect, assault with a deadly weapon. White Maserati was the actual chase car. It actually speeded up to very dangerous speeds at the very end of this, Rob. Unfortunately, that suspect in custody. Now, I know this area well. As a matter of fact, the house right next to where he was arrested, we actually looked at that as an apartment years ago. So that suspect in custody. And the strange thing, what we were hearing was it was domestic violence assault with a deadly weapon, and that suspect was apparently traveling to the victim's mother's place in the Redondo Beach area. And, of course, LAPD knew about that. They were waiting for him there. But, again, this police chase has ended on West Boulevard, just north of Jefferson and West Adams.
And some activity around the house is cops are taking people coming out of the house into custody.
Yeah, there might be something more to this. Again, this suspect knew exactly where to turn into this driveway. He knew that there was a parking lot behind. It's an apartment building. There's single-family homes. This is an apartment building with probably about 3 or 4 units on here. So there might be some other connection to this building and the suspect. And you know, like we say a lot of times, the suspect usually ends up in the same neighborhood that they're familiar with, they're used to. That's sometimes where the pursuit may end. So I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about the connection to the building and that suspect here.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling there's going to be a lot more involved with this because some of the people, they are struggling with some of these people coming out of the building, and we're going to get more on this as more information comes in. Let's go right back to Mr. Brian Douglas, whom we haven't heard from in seconds in the Simpson Automotive Traffic Center.
The boys, nobody wants to hear with the bad news on the drives, but I can tell you the North 5 is going to be slow from the 405 up to the 14. So if you're getting out of town, you've got that slowing. Once you clear the pass, once you clear the 14, that drive on the 5 looks great through the Grapevine, but you will have a little bit of a delay. We were dealing with an earlier truck fire at in Cerritos area, Pioneer West 91. You still have some right lanes taken away with the trailer that caught fire, full of auto parts. So from Valley View, that West 91 is still tough. Eastbound side, you see what's going on there. That's going to have you a little slow. We had some police activity and some also Caltrans work here in Linwood, 105 westbound or eastbound, right before Long Beach Boulevard. So that's what's got you really, really slow through the area there. If you're heading on the Hollywood Freeway, southbound just got really tough all of a sudden. Southbound from about Gower as you make your way into downtown Orange County. Things are starting a little heavy in some spots. For the most part, looking good. 15 northbound. Looks like we may have a problem just past Kenwood, and southbound you still have a right lane block 2 miles past Cleghorn. That big rig that went off the side yesterday, Rob, well, it's still there, and they need that right lane taken away in order to pull that back up on the road. South 15 really heavy from Ranchero Road.
All right, and still keeping an eye on the end of this police pursuit here as police are taking some people into custody who appear to be coming out of that apartment building. Police still there, not showing any signs of leaving or wrapping anything up yet. So we're going to keep an eye on that and see if we can get some more clarification about what might be going on with these other people. In the meantime, $18 million worth of counterfeit Gibson electric guitar has been seized coming through the ports of LA and Long Beach. Pete Material reports that Customs and Border Protection teams, along with local cops, seized the goods before they could be sold online or at retail stores.
The 3,000 guitars were knockoff classic styles like the Les Paul, SG, or Gretsch models. Beth Height, Chief Marketing Officer for Gibson, said they were grateful the counterfeit guitars were seized before they reached consumers, and a skilled musician or seller knows the difference between a real Gibson made in the USA and a fake.
You can look at the logo placement. Oftentimes, there are issues with it. It's not in the right
spot or it has a bleed to it. The inlays are not correct, so if you can pull up a picture of a Gibson, look at the site. If you're going to compare, they don't have correct inlays. The weight of them, it feels more flimsy. There's finish issues.
Customs and Border Protection officials couldn't release details on arrests following the seizures because the investigation is ongoing. But if anyone is charged with the crime of illegal importation and intellectual property theft in this case, they're facing fines of $250,000 and 10 years in prison per violation. In Carson, I'm Pete Demetrio, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Kentucky-based construction company accused of stealing more than $2 million from California taxpayers and workers. Karen Adams has more.
California's Attorney General announced he's filed 31 criminal charges against U.S. Framing West, saying the company failed to pay more than $2 million in payroll taxes and robbed workers at a public works project in Cathedral City of more than $40,000. Matt Miller with the Carpenters Union says they reported the violations to the state and calls out developers in California.
Developers need to stop turning a blind eye and do their part to uphold laws that protect the people and communities that they are building the housing for. Civil remedies have not acted as a deterrent for the crime of wage theft. Has anyone here ever heard of another crime of theft in which the criminal has an opportunity to negotiate with the victim and pay them pennies on the dollar of what they stole from them?
Attorney General Rob Bonta urges any worker in California, no matter their immigration status, to report if a company is stealing from them or committing any other violation of the law.
All right, let's go back to Brian Douglas in the KNX News Traffic Center because we just saw some of the police officers here at the end of that police pursuit we've been telling you about now running up towards what appears to be another house under the building. I can't really tell, Brian, is that an apartment building also? But I just saw a bunch of police running down the street to get to the front door of this place.
Yeah, this is the apartment building where the suspect ended up behind in that parking garage. We're getting some more details now. We are hearing that shots were fired. The initial reports were that suspect, after he pulled his Maserati in the back of this apartment building, LAPD pulled up to the front on the street here. And, of course, they got out in the defensive mode with the, the doors open, guns drawn. And apparently the suspect may have displayed a gun, pointed it at officers. Officers fired back. And now hearing that that suspect is down, they called an ambulance. Officers we're hearing are all accounted for and okay, but that suspect may have been hit. And also now hearing there may have been a woman who was also hit by the gunfire. Not quite clear if it was the gunfire from the officers or perhaps something else was going on. And again, Rob, we talked about that this apartment building, there is a connection between this suspect and maybe the person inside the building. Maybe it was the woman that he assaulted. We don't know any of that yet. But West Boulevard is, it is a mess north of Jefferson because of these shots fired. And there may be somebody else outstanding. We're watching them walk down Jefferson Boulevard now. Several LAPD officers. So this is going to be Jefferson right around west, just to the west of Buckingham. So Jefferson Boulevard is going to be shut down with this police activity while they look for whether it's another suspect, whether it is the initial suspect. We're not quite clear yet, but we have confirmation the shots have been fired in the area.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. We'll check back in with you in just a minute about the traffic ramifications of this on this busy travel day. It's 1:11.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It can be so frustrating to deal with insurance companies. It's Vicki Moore, and you pay your home insurance every month, and then one day you file a claim for water damage, only to find out your insurance company will pay less than the amount needed to actually fix the damage. So what do? You call Avner Gatt. Avner Gatt is public insurance adjuster, and he's on your side. You can try to negotiate with the insurance company yourself, but you're quickly going to find out it's not that easy. Avner Gatt negotiates on your behalf to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome. Avner and his team, they've been working with insurance companies for years, and they have the industry know-how that you need on your side. Avner Gatt consistently gets 5-star ratings from homeowners just like you, people who felt taken advantage of by their insurance company when they filed a claim. So they called Abner Gatt, and Abner saved the day. Are you dealing with a homeowner's insurance claim right now? Well, don't wait. Call 818-917-5256. 818-917-5256. Abner personally answers the phone. They're a family-owned business. Call them. AbnerGatt.com.
Right now is the best time to get laser eye surgery. That's because Laser Eye Center, the most trusted leader in LASIK, with their state-of-the-art 4G technology, are having a limited time special so you can improve your vision and save money. Within the next 30 minutes, Laser Eye Center is setting up free consultations for a limited number of LASIK procedures at 50% off and just $59 per month per eye with zero down and zero interest financing. Get rid of your irritating contacts and glasses. Start at only $59 per month per eye, zero down and zero interest. For the next 30 minutes, Laser Eye Center is setting up free consultations for LASIK, cataracts, and dry eyes. Appointments for this special will fill up fast, so call within the next 30 minutes and get 50% off, zero interest financing, and your free custom consultation. Call now, 800-515-6565. That's 800-515-6565. Once more, 800-515-6565.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Coming up, we're going to break down the announcement of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Also, the latest on the counterfeit guitar bust right now, 1:15 on KNX News. This traffic update brought to you by Murphy's Plumbing. And Brian, seeing some fire department personnel now at the scene at the end of this police pursuit.
Yeah, West Boulevard off Jefferson. Jefferson is shut down just to the east of Buckingham Road. We did get some more details, and I did see video. I want to thank the person who sent me the video of that suspect who came down the driveway, pulled a gun at officers, and officers responded several gunshots. That suspect's still down in the driveway. We're not sure if he is alive. Also hearing a woman has been shot in the arm. Several people from that building actually came out towards the suspect right before he pulled the gun. Some of them may have been hit, and now they're looking for someone else down Jefferson Boulevard. So a lot of police department activity, LAPD department activity, and LA City Fire. So Buckingham's going to be tough. And Jefferson down for the count. Anywhere just to the west of Buckingham, anything east of Hillcrest here in the West Athens area. All right, back to the freeways. Things start to be a little heavy if you're heading out of town on northbound side of the 5. From the 405 all the way up to the 14. It is going to be slow, and that's just, folks, get the heck out of town traffic. Once you're past the 14, the 5 looks good. If you're on the 91 westbound, not so good as our drive through Cerritos. Still at right lanes taken away at Pioneer, all due to an earlier truck fire. So big delays. Use Artesia Boulevard, and that's a great alternate. Now that's our downtown LA Law Group accident injury attorney's route. You can trust. Orange County, for the most part, we're fine. If you're leaving town on the 15, northbound's starting to get heavy before Kenwood. Looks like the accident on the other side, a little bit past Flaghorn, still catching your attention. That happened yesterday when a big rig went off the side. The right lane block there. Now, if you have been the victim, I don't want to read that right now. I'm going to read Murphy's Plumbing. When you need a real plumber, you can trust Murphy's Plumbing. Right now, you can take 10% off, $1,000 off any residential plumbing service. Call the plumber. Your pipes, ask for by name, Murphy's Plumbing. SoCal's on the reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the flash. The Simpson Automotive Group 24-hour traffic center.
And we have a chance of rain in the forecast lasting through tonight. Should begin letting up by tomorrow night. And we have a slow warming trend showing up all the way through the rest of the holiday weekend. Right now, 63 in Inglewood, 64 in Glendora, 63 degrees here on LA's Miracle Mile. Israel has approved a U.S. brokered ceasefire agreement with Lebanon's Hezbollah, setting the stage for an end to nearly 14 months of fighting linked to the ongoing war in Gaza. Aaron David Miller, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, but before that he worked for 24 years as a Middle East negotiator in the United States State Department. Thanks for joining us. So obviously you have a lot of expertise in this situation of this ceasefire deal. Could this lead to better news down the road, or is there a possibility of somehow this backfiring?
Well, it's the Middle East. Nothing's going to be perfect. This is a transaction, not a transformation. Israelis and Hezbollah will remain mortal enemies. I think this governs the area south of the Litani River, which is roughly 8 to 18 miles since the river jags spreading east to west from the Israeli-Lebanese border. And the Israelis have pretty good discretion from the United States and Assad assurance that if Hezbollah violates, and the Lebanese army can, if they probably won't, take action, then it will. So, a potential for violations here. So I don't think we'll know the answer to the question about whether it will endure until about 30 days in. Remember, that's a 60-day period in which the Lebanese forces have to be deployed to the south. Hezbollah has to withdraw all of its forces and its infrastructure, and the Israelis also will have to withdraw from Lebanon. So there's a lot to do. There's a monitoring committee set up, the U.S., France, the UN, Israel, and Lebanon. We're just going to have to see how it works.
Is there a possibility this could also signal maybe some movement on the Gaza front? Could be a ceasefire deal coming out of this for that as well?
I wish it were so, but I don't think that Netanyahu could sell the deal that Hamas would insist on if he entered in negotiations now. The reason he could do this deal was that he didn't have to cross the two extremist ministers within his own government. And Gaza is much more complicated. Hamas is going to demand hundreds of Palestinian prisoners to be released in exchange for the 101 hostages, 51 of whom the Israelis still believe are alive, in trade. And Hamas is going to demand a cessation of hostilities and the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza. I don't think that's what Netanyahu has in mind. And the Israeli Defense Forces, based on all the overhead and intelligence, suggest they are building berms and emplacements in Gaza in an effort to stay for quite some time.
All right, Aaron David Miller, thanks for joining us. A Middle East negotiator for 24 years with the U.S. State Department. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
It is 1:20, and look at your money here, Bloomberg's Tom Busby.
Another record-setting day on Wall Street for the Dow and the S&P 500, but it wasn't easy. Stocks began the day mostly lower after President-elect Trump said he'd slap punishing tariffs on imports from China, Mexico, and Canada, America's but things turned around after consumer sentiment this month rose to the highest level in a year. Also, the Federal Reserve signaled plans to keep lowering interest rates at a more gradual pace, and Israel and Hezbollah announced a 60-day ceasefire. At the close, the Dow up 124 points, 0.25% higher, the Nasdaq up 119, 0.2% higher, and the S&P added 34. Oil closing a little lower, under $69 a barrel. That's ahead of that ceasefire announcement. And just ahead of the all-important holiday shopping season, Kohl's cut its full-year guidance on a pullback in consumer discretionary spending, especially for clothing and footwear. Shares of Kohl's today tumbling 17% lower. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby from the Just One Touch Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM.
I'm always a traffic guy. I always listen to KNX News at 97.1 FM radio.
Southern California's news is KNX News 97.1 FM.
Imagine your sensor recognizes your vehicle, lights your home's exterior, opens your garage door, and cues a welcome scene of lights, climate, music, even video, or depending on the time of day and weather, your shades. Here now, connected living, think just one touch. Your total solution for smart home and office. TV installation anywhere, music everywhere.
for your office? We can design and build your state-of-the-art home automation or home theater.
Just One Touch does it all. Inside every video and audio center or on the internet. JustOneTouch.com.
Call our hotline 310-899-2929 or justonetouch.com.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered in motion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's enhanced network. Learn more at USPS.com/holidayride.
You're clear for Vector 324.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor? Well, Jim Abrams, a writer, producer, director behind movies and TV shows like Airplane, The Naked Gun, and Police Squad, has died. His son Joseph tells The Hollywood Reporter died at his home in Santa Monica of natural causes. Abrams had teamed up with childhood friends Jerry and David Zucker to create the Kentucky Fried Theater sketch comedy group that laid the groundwork for Kentucky Fried Movie and the 1980 hit Airplane. Later directed movies like Ruthless People and Big Business. Jim Abrams was 80 years old. Larry Burrell in for Rob Archer for just a moment. YouTube just posted a heartfelt blog post from their former CEO, Susan Wojcicki. She died in August at the age of 56 from lung cancer. She wrote the post before she passed to talk about the fact that she had lung cancer even though she never smoked. She was even an avid runner. The number of people in the U.S. who never smoked but are being diagnosed with lung cancer is on the rise. More now from Chris Seekins.
Symptoms of lung cancer are the same whether or not you smoke. Some people cough up blood or have chest pain, wheezing, or shortness of breath. Dr. Sham Lau is with Dignity Health, St. Mary's Hospital.
What we're seeing is that there are specific genetic mutations or markers that we can pinpoint that are related to patients who have never smoked and they are diagnosed with lung cancer. There's also specific subtypes or cell types in the cancer cells, but we still cannot give a good explanation for it.
As many as 40,000 lung cancer cases in the U.S. each year involve people who have never smoked or those who've smoked fewer than 100 cigarettes in their lifetime. I'm Chris Seekins, KNX News 97.1 FM.
The Rams coach Sean McVay says he's still trying to find out more about the early Monday morning arrest of receiver DeMarcus Robinson for DUI and that it is too soon to say if he's going to be playing this weekend. The CHP's officers noticed a speeding white Dodge sedan on the northbound 101 early Monday going more than 100 miles an hour. The driver stopped, identified himself as DeMarcus Robinson, and CHP says he was showing signs of alcohol impairment. He was arrested and released to a responsible party. Ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah. We've got a live report coming up at 1:30. Right now, 125 traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Here's Brian Douglas.
Just an update on that pursuit. Jefferson still shut down to the west of Buckingham Road. Police activity on West Boulevard. That's just to the west of Buckingham. This is where a pursuit came to an end. Suspect pulled into an apartment building, came down the driveway, pulled two guns on officers. Officers shot that suspect still down the driveway. We're not sure of the condition of the suspect. A woman who actually ran out of this apartment building to try, whether to confront this suspect or do, I don't know what happened, but she was shot in an arm. She was just put into an ambulance, and there are marks, they have markers all over West Boulevard, a lot of bullet casings here. So this is the investigation. This will continue. Buckingham and Jefferson is absolutely jammed if you live in the neighborhood, or if you're even on the 10 freeway, right around, we'll say Crenshaw, you're going to know, or La Brea, you're going to notice a lot of helicopters just to the south of the freeway there. That's what's going on. In Artesia 91, westbound still really tough at Pioneer. Got some right lanes still taken away. Earlier trailer fire there, and that continues to be a tough ride. On the 60s, so we're in Hacienda. This will be past Hacienda Boulevard. I'm told everything just cleared to the shoulder. The crash, and CHP stopped everybody, and that's what's got you slowed down, stopping right at 7th Avenue. So really, really tough. 405 starting to get heavy off the 105 as you head up to the 10, and actually it stays pretty slow as you make your way into the Newhall Pass. nothing's changed there. It's southbound 405 getting heavy as well, even before you get to Sunset. Family needs an oil change, 15-minute drive to oil change. Reminds you to check your oil, fluids, battery, lights, and more before you hit the road. This Thanksgiving, because safety matters. Trust the expert technicians at Family needs an oil change. For coupons, go to SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. And SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Simpson Automotive Group. 24-hour traffic center.
There's a chance of rain lasting on through tonight. Should begin letting up by tomorrow night. Overnight low is going to be in the 50s. Clouds on the way tomorrow should begin clearing up later in the afternoon. The slight chance of rain should begin clearing up later in the afternoon tomorrow as well. Our high is going to be in the 60s, with valleys getting up to around 70. And then we have a slow warming trend through the holiday weekend. Right now, 67 degrees in Lake Forest. We have 62 in Pasadena, 63 degrees here on LA's Miracle Mile. 127. Dr. Charles Manger at Saddleback Eye Center wants to give you the all-new Laser Light LASIK exam. The Laser Light LASIK exam uses a laser to measure your eyes over 1,000 times to perfectly map your vision. I can give away a Laser Light LASIK exam to the first 14 KNX callers only, so stand by. You will get a phone number in moments for the Laser Light LASIK exam. It's important. Whether you have farsightedness, astigmatism, or you just need reading glasses. And if you've been told that you're not a candidate for LASIK, you may now qualify for it with the accuracy of the Laser Light LASIK exam. It'll take over 1,000 measurements of your eyes. You must be one of the first 14 callers. This is free. Call now. 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444.
866-755-4444. Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line. We got more lines. Cricket Nation. You bigger guns. Real easy. Super sweet. Lines is a fast like Cricket has games and me and you have a blast. We get past back here. Press more lines. We get past back here. Press more lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We for our one. Cricket Nation.
Another 25 bucks a line. Welcome to our line. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, your own cricket.
Pretty much get crossed by the devices on it. Discount varies by the bid like your home.
Mike Simpson here. I've told you about this old car I've got. It's always in the shop. It's okay though, because it's old. If you've got a new car and it's always in the shop, then it's not okay. Because you're sitting there going, something's wrong. What do I do? Well, you might be able to get it replaced. Contact My Lemon Law Lawyer. If it's ongoing mechanical issues and it's a model year 2018 to 2025, you know, the stuff that's new, they might be able to help you. They have helped thousands of people get away. Just get their money back. You can get up to 3 times the cash value back, no matter where you bought that vehicle. So sounds good? MyLemonLawLawyer.com. You can check on the estimated refund right there. One of the largest settlements, over $400,000, was a huge malfunction. Manufacturer pays, and you don't pay here. For a free case review, text LEMON to 40333. LEMON to 40333. My Lemon Law Lawyer, accredited by the Better Business Bureau. That car's not working. Don't sink any more time. Don't sink any more money into it. It's LEMON to 40333 or MyLemonLawLawyer.com.
Downtown LA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is Southern California's news.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
131, good afternoon. I'm Ron Archer. Israel has approved the U.S. forward ceasefire agreement with Lebanon's Hezbollah that sets the stage for an end to nearly 14 months of fighting. Live report now.
CBS News special report. There is a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Effective at 4 a.m. tomorrow local time, the fighting across the Lebanese-Israeli border will end.
The fighting has gone on for 14 months. President Biden this afternoon.
Let's be clear. Israel did not launch this war. The Lebanese people did not seek that war either.
CBS's Deborah Patta on the impact of the fighting in Lebanon.
We have 1.2 million civilians who have been displaced by this war, and nearly 4,000 people have been killed just in the past 2 months alone.
CBS's Margaret Brennan on the hopes for a Gaza
will bring. Emily Valdez has.
Israel and the Iran-backed terror group Hezbollah have been warring on and off since the 80s.
There's so much going on that I don't know where this is taking us.
Yasmin spoke to KNX News from her home in central Israel.
I can only hope that it will bring some good to this, because at least right now it just feels like it's more of the same.
The last peace deal was a 2006 two-end war between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah broke that deal one day after the October 7th Hamas massacre and also attacked Israel.
I do hope that there is something different about this one, although it's based on the old one. But they did mention that this time Israel could do more than she could on the first one. So maybe like if something happens, if they're going to cross the border, we can be more active about it.
Ultimately, she feels only time will tell. I'm Emily Valdez, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Let's go back to Brian Douglas in the KNX News Traffic Center. The aftermath of this police pursuit we had earlier today.
Yeah, ended up in a shooting here. This is the end of the West Adams neighborhood. Jefferson, it's on West Boulevard. That's right north of Jefferson, just to the west of Buckingham. And Jefferson remains shut down in both directions. Hillcrest over to Buckingham. This was a domestic violence suspect, assault with a deadly weapon, actually led police in a chase down through Inglewood, back up here to this neighborhood in a white Maserati, pulled behind an apartment building, ended up getting out of the car. As he was walking up the driveway, LAPD, of course, staged right on the street in front of the apartment building. This suspect pulls out two guns, aims them at police. We're not sure if the suspect actually got to fire, because right then, LAPD opened fire. That suspect down on the driveway still. We don't know his condition. A woman who ran out to, forgive me, I don't know what she was doing. She was hit in the arm. She was just taken to the hospital. So there's a big investigation going on. I'm looking at all the new marks they put on the street here, especially with bullet casings involved, and there are a lot of rocks on West Boulevard, the West Adams neighborhood. That's just off Jefferson and Buckingham. This whole neighborhood remains basically shut down for this police activity.
All right, thanks, Brian. We'll get a full traffic report from you in about 1 minute. California's filed criminal charges against a Kentucky-based construction company accused of ripping off workers and also of tax evasion. Karen Adams.
U.S. Premier West worked on a large number of construction projects throughout the state, including in L.A., Orange, and Riverside counties between 2018 and 2022. California Attorney General Rob Bonta says it used unlicensed subcontractors on the jobs and ripped off the state and its workers.
We allege U.S. Framing West failed to pay more than $2.5 million in state payroll taxes, meaning they stole $2.5 million. We also allege that at a public works project in Depot City, U.S. Framing West also underpaid its workers by approximately $40,000.
Bonta and Lorena Gonzalez, the State Labor Federation, urge workers to report violations no matter their immigration status.
The bottom line is we have an attorney general who is not turning a blind eye to the real criminals in the state. Those who hire workers and don't pay them, steal from them.
In this case, the Carpenters Union is who reported the alleged violations by U.S. Framing West. In downtown L.A., I'm Karen Adams, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Traffic now, Brian Douglas in the Simpson Automotive Traffic Center.
Once again, police activity, Jefferson Boulevard shut down in both directions, just to the west of Buckingham Road. That'll be to the west of Crenshaw, to the east of La Brea. You're able to get over towards Buckingham, then you're going to be turned around there. So that's the West Adams neighborhood. Helicopters in the air, and of course you can see it from the 10 freeway. I did get a call from a lot of folks who saw the police cars, LAPD, racing down the 10 freeway. They were headed to this area because shots were fired at officers, and the call went out. Officer needs help, so that's what's going on here. So a lot of police activity. That's probably what you saw on the 10 freeway there. The 110 south, we have a big issue here right at Florence. How about this right past your Florence exit? Multi-car crash, several lanes blocked. It looks like they're holding all lanes. There could have been some racing involved before this crash. A couple people involved with the crash actually out fighting each other, fist fights, reports of a woman holding her kids over to the side. So it is a mess. 110 south at Florence. All lanes stopped here until CHP figures out what's going on. From Martin Luther King Jr., that drive is horrible. If you hop off and use, we'll say Hoover or even Vermont, that's better. It's a wider road. That's to the west of the freeway.
that works. If you take it down to Manchester, rejoin that South 110, you'll be on your way and things will improve for you. Westbound side of the 10 Santa Monica, when we come back here, we have something working right at Robertson. I'll keep an eye on that. And just a really big delay. 5 north, right at Stadium Way, a big rig stalled in, looks like one of your middle lanes, and that's what's got you slow there. And of course, Rob, keeping an eye on the 91 through the Cerritos area, Artesia area, right at Pioneer on that westbound side, still a right lane's taken away. Earlier truck fire, really heavy from Valley View.
All right, thanks, Ryan. LAPD Chief Jim McDonald gave his first update on crime in Los Angeles. Craig Figger reports armed crooks are very focused on one affluent part of L.A.
The numbers are frightening, and it's about robberies in Los Angeles. Across the city, over the previous 4 weeks' time, robberies are down, but just slightly, 0.1%. When you zero in on Wilshire Division, well, robberies over the previous 4 weeks' time, they have spiked 80%. And Chief McDonald says robbery suspects using a firearm, well, that number is 23%. Now, if they have a firearm, that means they're more likely to use force or fear to gain property. Contrast that with burglaries across Los Angeles, down more than 10% when you include businesses and homes. But what this indicates is the crooks are becoming more brazen across Los Angeles, because burglary involves a property where nobody's home, meaning the thief isn't willing to confront somebody to get something.
Final note from the G7 summit about continued commitment to Ukraine. Secretary of State.
The U.S. continues security assistance to bolster Ukraine's defenses in the east and to respond to the escalation by Russia, and in particular, now the involvement of troops from North Korea.
The Trump transition, the latest from KNX News, 97.1 FM.
President-elect Trump's threats slap some tariffs on other countries are weighing down on stocks. Brooks is more.
President-elect Trump posted on his social media platform that one of his first executive orders will be to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the U.S. Trump also promised 10 to 20% tariffs on all imported goods into the U.S. and 60 to 100% tariffs on Chinese products. An analyst note from investment firm ISI Evercore says 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada would take a chunk out of the profits for GM, Ford, and Chrysler Jeep owner Stellantis. Shares in the Detroit 3 are slumping.
Incoming border czar Tom Homan is in Texas today along the Mexico border with Governor Greg Abbott.
Tom Homan addressing Texas National Guard soldiers and state troopers working border security in Eagle Pass, wasting no time in laying out the immigration plan of the upcoming Trump administration.
Let me be clear. There is going to be a mass deportation because we just faced a mass illegal immigration crisis on the border.
Hope calling the Texas $12 billion border security effort Operation Lone Star a model they can take across the country. He also had a message for those trying to block their mass deportation effort.
Don't cross that line. Don't test us.
Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
The Biden administration is cutting Intel's chip award. CBS's Stacey Lynn at the White House.
The president said Intel would get up to $7.86 billion in direct funding. That's more than $600 million less than what the chip giant was originally awarded. The Commerce Department said it had reduced the grant because the company had also received a $3 billion contract to make semiconductors domestically for the military.
Politics have been dividing families for generations, but for the last decade, arguing over Donald Trump has uniquely stressed out relationships. And with the holidays here, how will families navigate yet another bitter election? Join Charles Feldman and guest host Larry Perrell as they preview political family feuds on Countdown 2024. Today at 2:30, only on KNX News 97.1 FM. When you need a real plumber you can trust, call Burpee's Plumbing. Our staff is experienced.
Did you know that California offers God Hack a Friendship Line available 24/7 for those who may need relaxation? Dive into the Aging Resource Guide today at aging.deserve.
Being overwhelmed and frustrated after an accident is natural, but you're not alone. I'm personal injury attorney Joseph S. Normand. If you've been injured in an accident, don't hesitate to call me. Insurance companies know which attorneys will fight for your full compensation, and those will settle for pennies on the dollar. I'll fight for the compensation you deserve. Call me, Joseph S. Normand, today at 213-747-2000, 213-747-2000, or normandlegal.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business com at ooma.com/radio.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay. It's a place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love.
Right now is the best time to get laser eye surgery. That's because Laser Eye Center, the most trusted leader in LASIK, with their state-of-the-art 4D technology, are having a limited time special so you can improve your vision and save money. Within the next 30 minutes, Laser Eye Center is setting up free consultations for a limited number of LASIK procedures at 50% off and just $59 per month per eye with zero down and zero interest financing. Get rid of your irritating contacts and glasses. Start at only $59 per month per eye with zero down and zero interest. For the next 30 minutes, Laser Eye Center is setting up free consultations for LASIK, cataracts, and dry eyes. Appointments for this special will fill up fast. So call within the next 30 minutes and get 50% off, zero interest financing, and your free custom consultation. Call now, 800-515-6565. That's 800-515-6565. Once more, 800-515-6565.
Laser Eye Center.
Good afternoon, I'm Bob Archer. Coming up, just how much will President-elect Trump's tariffs affect you? We are talking to an economics expert. And turkeys can't fly unless you take them on an airplane. But can you? 145 KNX News traffic brought to you by the LA Auto Show. Here's Brian.
Start with our 110 northbound downtown, right at 3rd Street. Far right lane blocked here. Looks like on the main line with a crash. Got you slow from about Slauson. The southbound side of the 110 here in South LA at Florence. They're trying to get this multi-car crash and a fight, literally a fight, out of the way over to the right shoulder. I don't think they're fighting anymore. Cops are there. But the southbound side of the 110, they're trying to get everything to the right. When they do, they will start opening up lanes. You're really jammed coming out of Expo Park for that southbound side. Really, really tough. Earlier road work, 105 going eastbound before Long Beach Boulevard. Looks like that's clearing. So we still have backup coming off that 110. We still have big issues for the 91. You've got right lanes blocked at Pioneer. This is the West 91. Earlier truck fire, so really heavy coming away from Valley View. Want to hop up here to the Valley. You're 101 in Studio City. This is eastbound or southbound, right at Laurel Canyon. Middle lane's blocked with a crash, and that's adding to your slow drive coming off of the 405. If you're leaving town, the Newhall Pass already starting to get heavy. 5 starts to get a little slow past the 118 to the 14, and then speed. Now, still that cigarette in effect. 2 miles past Claycorn, right lane taken away. Big rig over the side, and that northbound side definitely catching your attention. Southbound's heavy. Even before 22nd through December 1st, find your road to the 2024 LA Auto Show and explore hundreds of new vehicles coming. It's going to be a relatively
Thursday, Sunday, temperatures will climb, and we will get lots of afternoon sunshine. With your next weather forecast, I'm KCAL meteorologist Paul Diano for KNX News 97.1 FM.
Right now it's 64 degrees in San Pedro, 62 in Burbank. We have 63 here on LA's Miracle Mile. President-elect Donald Trump's revealed he's going to impose new tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China when he takes office in January. It'll be a 25% tax on all stuff entering the U.S. from Canada and Mexico, and an additional 10% tariff on goods from China. Mike Simpson talked to Northeastern economics professor Peter Simon about the impact.
The first thing you can expect is going to be retaliation from China and Mexico and Canada. We're not going to let this go unresponded to. So there's going to be job loss. But he's doing it, presumably not because of unfair practices of other countries, which is generally the reason for a tariff. He's doing it to stop the flow of fentanyl and immigrants into this country.
To consider race and gender in supplier contracts. Racial. Stop participating in LGBTQ advocacy group rankings and review its support for pride events.
On Wall Street today, stocks battled back with steep early losses on worries about President-elect Trump's proposed tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico. And after consumer sentiment this month reached the highest level in a year, there was word of a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah and signals from the Federal Reserve that it still wants to lower interest rates, albeit more gradually. Stocks began to turn around, and at the close, the Dow was up 124 points at a new all-time high. The Nasdaq up 119, and the S&P added 34, also ending at a fresh record high. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby from the Just One Touch Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM. Hey, it's Alex Silver, host of the LA Local. Got 10 minutes? Get caught up on what's happening in SoCal.
We have some crazy things in Los Angeles.
Promise, you won't be bored. There is genuine fear. Would you believe this is a story about the city budget? Let me ask you, can I use the F word? On a podcast again. Okay, all right. Follow the LA Local on your favorite podcast app. Brought to you by the LA Car Guy family of dealerships. See the inventory for all 12 dealerships at lacarguy.com.
I'm Dr. Eric Baker with Dental Implants GPS. If you're in the car right now, smile in the rearview mirror. Do you like what you see? If you don't or didn't even try due to embarrassment, you may be one of many dealing with missing or failing teeth and looking for the right team to guide you to your new dream smile. I invite you to come into Dental Implants GPS.
The specialists at Dental Implants GPS can guide you to a new healthy smile. So if your teeth are loose or painful, it might be time to replace all of your teeth. Or if you dislike your dentures, call 800-952-4200. Stop hiding. Get back freedom. Imagine enjoying social situations again. The GPS Full Smile Solution is a permanent full-mouth teeth replacement. Replace your teeth and restore your self-confidence in one day. 5 local centers: Dana Point, Huntington Beach, Riverside, and 2 new LA area locations. Call 800-952-4200. That's 800-952-4200.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Learn more at Viking.com.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
From smart TV to smart home, it's smart living. Just One Touch by Video and Audio Center.
It's that time of year again when people try to fly with all kinds of food for Thanksgiving. Karen Adams reports on what you can and can't bring on a flight.
The TSA sees it all, especially during the holidays.
Yes, people try to bring entire turkeys to the security checkpoint, and by the way, those are allowed. People will bring gravy. They will bring special recipes. They've maybe made a special bread or cakes that they want to share with their friends and family. Those are solid, so those are allowed.
Let's go back to the sauces, gravies, and soups. The TSA's Lori Danker says those are liquids and won't make it through unless it's in a 3.4-ounce container. And who's bringing a shot glass of soup or gravy?
But I think there's a way that people can approach this to make it work for them, and that is, let's say you have a special gravy or a special sauce or salsa that you like to make. Maybe bring the ingredients that are allowed. Maybe you have a special spice that's required in it or a special mix of some sort. Go ahead and bring that and make it at your destination.
And she says don't try freezing your gravy or soup. It won't get through. Though your pies will make it on a flight, but Danker says make sure it's easily accessible, just in case the TSA agent needs to take a peek. I'm Karen Adams, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
As my wife says, she flies with the turkey all the time. Don't think she was talking about food, though.
Nah, I don't think so either.
It dawns on me. It's 1:55. Let's go to traffic brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Changers. Brian.
Let's start with your 110 northbound in downtown, right at 3rd Street, crash right lane. That might still be there. It's pretty solid backup northbound from Slauson. South 110 at Florence, you still have several lanes blocked, I believe, over towards the right now. Multi-car crash. Apparently, from what I have been told, it was street racing. 2 people may have been racing down the 110. Got into a crash. We do have injuries 110 south from Exposition Boulevard is a really, really tough drive. Be prepared for some delays. They're trying to clear, CSV's trying to clear everything out of the way, but it's going to take some time. If you're on the 5 heading north, right around Stadium Way, it's a big rig in one of your middle lanes there, so north 5 out of East LA, interchange is tough. Through Cerritos, 91 westbound, the backup for you is because of an earlier truck fire. The trailer caught fire at Pioneer on the westbound side, so right lane still blocked, and from Valley View, things are really, really tough for your drive on that 91, even eastbound. It's all starting to catch your attention. If you're heading north to Santa Barbara, I do want to warn you, heading to the Montecito area, just past Sheffield, bad crash, north 101, all lanes now shut down, and some heavy rain up there as well. Valvoline, it's an oil change, a 15-minute drive through oil change. Reminds you to check your oil, fluids, battery, lights, and more before you hit the road. This Thanksgiving, safety matters. Trust the expert technicians of Valvoline Instant Oil Change with coupons. SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the Simpson Automotive Group, 24-hour traffic center.
A chance of rain lasting on through tonight. Should be completely gone by tomorrow night. Overnight low is going to be in the 50s. Got a cloudy day tomorrow with highs in the 60s, getting up to around 70. Right now, 66 in Downey, 65 in West Covina, 63 degrees here on LA's Miracle Mile.
Dr. Charles Mager at Saddleback Eye Center wants to give you the all-new Laser Light LASIK exam. A Laser Light LASIK exam uses a laser to measure your eyes over 1,000 times to perfectly map your vision. I can give away a Laser Light LASIK exam to the first 14 KNX callers only. So stand by. You'll get a phone number in moments for the Laser Light LASIK exam. It's important. Whether you have nearsightedness, farsightedness, astigmatism, or you just need reading glasses. And if you've been told that you're not a candidate for LASIK, you may now qualify for it with the accuracy of the Laser Light LASIK exam. It'll take over 1,000 measurements of your eyes. You must be one of the first 14 callers. This is free. Call now. 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective. A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin. Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
This update is brought to you by Moderna.
Hey, did you know that last year about 2 times more people were hospitalized from COVID-19 than the flu? Protect yourself this season with an updated COVID-19 vaccine. Visit foryoumthem.com to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by Moderna.
Have you been in an accident, slip and fall, or negligence injury? Downtown LA Law Group Injury Attorneys. Visit them at calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
KNX FM HD, Los Angeles.
This is Southern California News.
Yeah, coming up in the Torrance neighborhood, there's been some evacuations because of a gas leak. We'll get the latest. Plus, 3,000 counterfeit Gibson electric guitars are confiscated by U.S. Customs. What they could have been worth on the streets. And a chase through the West Adams area ends not so well.
Only on KNX News 97.1 FM.
It's 2 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the hour.
President Biden said he spoke to ministers of Israel and Lebanon.
I'm pleased to announce that the government of the United States proposal to end the devastating conflict between Israel and Hezbollah.
He said the U.S. helped broker the deal along with France and other allies.
If Hezbollah or anyone else breaks...
Many soldiers died trying to protect our lives, and its role has been in vain. If this agreement goes forward.
It's hoped the deal could reignite the Gaza ceasefire talks. So many Americans are traveling for the holiday. The FAA has opened express lanes in the skies. airspace usually reserved for the military, it's no less stressful on the ground. Planning helps.
My strategy was to make sure that when I got out of work, go straight to the airport because it was closer to my job, and just even if I get there 3 or 4 hours earlier, just chill and just enjoy.
United Airlines says an acute shortage of air traffic controllers is causing significant disruptions at busy Newark Airport in New Jersey. President millions of obese Americans consider weight loss drugs covered by Medicare and Medicaid. Health reporter Alexander Nett.
This would be a significant change, one that advocacy groups and lawmakers have been calling on the Biden administration to make. But the Biden administration has changed now. It's because doctors groups are increasingly recognizing obesity. It's not just a symptom or a characteristic, and second, that the prevalence of obesity in this country is going up.
The proposal wouldn't be approved until after Donald Trump takes office. It could cost taxpayers $35 billion over the next decade. American consumers are feeling more confident. Jason Brooks has a look at the conference board numbers.
56% of respondents expect stock prices to rise over the next year, a record high for that measure, while the percentage of consumers anticipating a recession fell to the lowest level since the board started asking that question in the summer of 2022.
With inflation still elevated, Federal Reserve officials have indicated they're concerned about cutting interest rates too quickly. On Wall Street, the Dow 23 points. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance. Look to your home and auto heaven common. They're yours, and Progressive protects them both. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Is Southern California's news.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
And a very good afternoon to you. I'm Larry Pearl in for Margaret Carrero. Here is what's happening at 2:03. It was an LAPD chase with what appeared to be an armed suspect through the West Adams area of Los Angeles. Let's check in now with Brian Knuckles. What's up, Brian?
Yeah, it's come to an end, Larry. It came to an end about an hour ago on West Boulevard. That's just north of Jefferson, just to the east of Buckingham Road. This suspect led police, LAPD, through a chase all the way down to Inglewood, back up here to this West Adams neighborhood where the suspect ended up pulling behind an apartment building just about 3 buildings off of Jefferson. Came out, displayed 2 guns, pointed those guns at officers. Officers then returned fire. That suspect was hit. That suspect was taken to the hospital. The same woman had run out of that apartment building. She was hit in the arm. She will be fine. She was also taken to the hospital. But again, this was a domestic violence suspect. A deadly weapon. Continues here in the West Adams area, just off Jefferson, which is shut down to the west of Buckingham.
All right, Brian, thanks. We'll check back in with you on traffic on this afternoon as well. And right now, though, let's talk to Karen Adams. She is tracking this huge gas leak happening in a residential area in Torrance. In the street, accidentally struck this gas main. It happened this afternoon. At one time, calling for the evacuation of residents near.
Because of the water. I'm standing about 50 to 75 feet away. There were reports of some homes being evacuated. It is a residential street and neighborhood. But I've seen people inside their homes walking their dogs, and there's people here, most people concerned about a possible explosion. They're right next to where the leak is. The focus right now is fixing it, and I can hear what sounds like a jackhammer of crews working away. SoCal Gas is here trying to catch this leak, and officials with Torrance's Public Works arrived a short while ago, so they're just busy away trying to cap the leak, Larry.
All right, Karen, thanks. All right, 2:05. We'll check back in with Karen Adams in just a little bit to find out how that's all progressing. For now, though, in the Simpson Automotive Group Traffic Center, let's get you back over to Brian Douglas.
I'm going to go back to that chase real quick. Just to reiterate that Jefferson, you want to avoid Jefferson in between Buckingham and Hillcrest Drive, because that investigation actually went over to Jefferson Boulevard, where they may have been looking for another suspect or something else related to this police chase and this police shooting here in West Adams neighborhood. So Jefferson down for the count. Exposition works. Adams works as well. Now, if you're going to use the 10 freeway, which a lot of you are, it is heavy from National all the way, actually, we'll say Robertson, all the way into downtown. Westbound, I know we had slowing at Robertson. Thanks for all the calls. It was Caltrans working over to the right. Not blocking any lanes, just really, really slow. 110 South continues to be an issue at Florence, multi-car crash and a fight as a result of, and they're trying to, CHP is trying to calm everyone down and get these cars out of your way. Several lanes still blocked over to the right. Exposition Boulevard, that southbound drive is a brutal one. Really slow. If you're going to use Vermont, rejoin at Manchester. That puts you on your way on that southbound side. So right lane's blocked here heading into Cerritos, 91 west at Pioneer. Earlier truck fire there. Sharon and Joe, thank you. Let me know about this stalled big rig right before Whitman on the east of South 101. And then up ahead we do have that crash that's still clearing by Laurel Canyon. So your East 101 is going to be unusually slow coming off the 405. And Larry, also keeping an eye on this issue that Rich let me know about. If you're on that 118 east transitioning to the 405 north, that transition might be blocked with a jackknife truck.
All right, Brian, thank you. U.S. Customs agents and local police made a record seizure of counterfeit musical instruments coming into the ports of L.A. and Long Beach. 3,000 counterfeit Gibson electric guitars confiscated before they could be marketed either online or in retail outlets. Total value, if these guitars had been real, $18 million. Our Pete Demetrio with some specific questions for officials from the government and Gibson about the nature of the phony instruments.
I asked Sports Director Africa Bell if beyond the fraudulent nature of the goods, there were any safety risks present to the items that might affect people who handle them.
There's also a great safety and health risk to the consumer, and oftentimes it could be the type of lead in the paint, it could be something electrical. When commodities are made or counterfeit commodities are made, they use subpar, substandard materials and components, and that's exactly what poses the risk to the consumer with regard to your health and safety. You don't always know what's in the paint, or you plug something up and then you get a short or other problems because of the substandard materials that are being used.
Well, officials have declined to say if arrests had been made in connection with the seizure because the investigation is still ongoing. But if convicted on charges of intellectual property theft in this case, they are facing fines of $250,000, so 10 years in prison per violation. A controversial LA County agency that takes in an enormous amount of money for programs to help the homeless could be dissolved after an audit found numerous financial irregularities. Craig Baker has that story.
The CEO of the LA Homeless Services Authority, or LHOSA, earns $430,000 a year. Despite that, LA County supervisors and LA County council members rarely seem happy with the answers she gives when she's called to testify about exactly how LHOSA is spending its nearly $1 billion annual budget. LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath took the unprecedented move of appointing herself to LHOSA's board. And now, as a result of that, she is backing a motion for the County of Los Angeles to create its own agency to essentially replace many of the functions LHOSA currently handles. This motion passed in a unanimous vote, and for LHOSA, it means its future is very much in jeopardy. The CEO, Alicia Adams-Kellum, has said that the funding irregularities that have been identified in a recent audit of LHOSA are because of COVID. I'm Craig Fick, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Southern California residents are on the move, heading out of town for the holiday. Those who didn't hit the road last week likely leaving today or tomorrow. John Barrett says traffic expected to be very heavy.
It's not going to be fun, not today, not tomorrow, not on Sunday either, when all of the holiday travelers turn around and go home. The travel crush is breaking records again. But why? Doug Shoup is with the Auto Club.
What we're seeing is what many people in the travel industry called revenge travel. And this year, travel volumes for all the major holidays have consistently surpassed pre-pandemic levels. And this Thanksgiving holiday is no exception.
So there's a very good chance it will end up taking you quite a bit longer to get to where you're going. And CHP officer Roberto Gomez says downside to that, another downside anyway, is being stuck in traffic leads to other distractions and rear-end crashes.
And then, of course, when you do have the effect of traffic, everyone wants to get on their phones.
Some people, though, can stay home and chill because they don't have to go anywhere this year. The family is coming to them.
Yes, I love it.
And also, you don't have to travel and go through this mess.
Yeah, exactly.
Travelers are hitting the road again. I'm John Beard, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
If you are leaving today, Brian Douglas, he's here in the traffic center. He's going to break it all down for you. It's 2:11.
Furnished by Sullivan Financial Work,
Homeowners and future homeowners, tune into the Solomon Free Money Hour Sunday mornings at 6:30. With lower interest rates predicted in 2024 and higher home prices, listen to our show so you can make some smart choices. It's the Solomon Free Money Hour on AM 1070.
Thanks to-do list. Eat, nap, watch football, play slots and blackjack. Oh, if there was only a place I could do everything. Hey, wait! Now the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
I'm proud to announce the Yellow has earned the coveted Diner's Choice Award from Open Table Diners.
Number 4.
2 winners get $500 cash every half hour. Play high-limit table games with your reward card. Friday, 6 to 10 p.m.
3.
Black Friday shopping at our ballroom. Get top brands in JBL and shoemaker in cash, credit, or points. Noon to 10 p.m. the 29th.
And the number 2.
A pro football triple header. You'll be giving us free steaks for big screens everywhere you eat, stay, and play on Thanksgiving.
And the number 1 reason.
We're going country. It's Morongo's Grand Old New Year's Eve. Music, dancing, giveaways. Giddy up and get your tickets now.
Morongo, good times.
Holidays have arrived, and so with all my family, so I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
Also is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung. Number 1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Here's Black Friday now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th, U.S. only. See store or online for details. Shop.
The future is on sale today with limited deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel-Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Got that.
At West LA Implants, we're not just about replacing teeth, we're about changing lives. Hi, I'm Dr. Tony Barrier. At West LA Implants, we understand that it's more than just about teeth. It's about restoring confidence and giving back a part of your life you thought you'd lost. We help people with missing teeth, failing teeth, or unstable dentures by offering personalized full-mouth dental implants tailored to meet your unique needs instead of a one-size-fits-all approach. Here, you'll be treated with respect no matter your background. At West LA Implants, we welcome you like family with the smile you deserve. What I look forward to every day is helping people feel good about themselves by giving them the smile they've always dreamed of. Call West LA Implants today for your free consultation. Dial 310-481-0111. That's 310-481-0111. 310-481-0111.
If for some reason you can, well, you can always find your favorite team to stream. Get the Odyssey app, search for your team, and listen to every game live. Download now, AUDACY.
Genesis of South Bay. Someone had to make luxury fun. Good afternoon, I'm Larry Brown, 2:15. I'm in for Margaret Carrero. Coming up on KNX News, a ceasefire has been broken between Israel and Hezbollah, and we'll take a look at what that means. Before we get to that, let's get you over to, I believe it's Pete Demetrio, who is following sort of the follow-up, I guess, to the chase that ended in the West Adams area. Pete, you there?
Yes, we're at Jefferson Boulevard and West Boulevard, and the shooting scene itself is probably about 150 yards ahead of me. At least a half a dozen LAPD cars there, and at least 25 officers on West Boulevard and on Jefferson Boulevard at this particular point. You want to understand, this is a pursuit involving a white Maserati that went around for some time. Officers following, and the car apparently stopped in front of an apartment building. The man got out, went in an area behind the building, and came out in an alleyway and confronted officers. At that point, the preliminary information we're getting is that the man may have been armed with as many as 2 weapons and may have pointed them at officers. Officers fired. Still here at the scene. Now, we don't have the coroner here yet. We don't even have Force Investigation Division here yet. And they're still trying to put together the actual sequence of events on how many officers fired and what exactly happened that caused them to fire at this particular location. We'll have a few more pieces of information for you in a few minutes once we get some other individuals here who are able to tell us what went on.
All right, Pete Demetrio, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Right now, though, let's get over to Brian Douglas and a look at traffic brought to you by the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library.
Jefferson, as you heard, shut down in between Buckingham and Hillcrest Drive. So you're going to have to use Exposition, east and west, or hop up to Adams. That will be your alternate to get around. A couple issues for the, well, one issue for the 10 specifically. It looks like Caltrans, westbound side. You got your Peck Road and Valley Boulevard off-ramps shut down from that westbound side. So it looks like you've got some slowing off the 605. Not sure if Caltrans is, or CHP is running a break for Caltrans there. 210 east before the 605, left lane. This came in as a stall. And that, I'll tell you, the 210 out of Pasadena eastbound, it is extremely slow because up ahead past Brad. Also another crash here blocking a middle lane or two, and it's just been a heck of a drive for that eastbound side of the 210. Two right lanes blocked Florence, and on the southbound side of the 110. This is that multi-car crash. Mike drove by the two right lanes blocked really heavy coming away from downtown. Your 405 is going to be tough from Century on up. Southbound is going to be tough before Sunset. Northbound in the valley. Nico's on this 405, and it's slow all the way up. On the earliest known copies of the old Testament amongst hundreds of ancient treasures. Never before on display, now open at the Reagan Library. Get your tickets online. Visit ReaganFoundation.org. It's SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes at the 5 to the 6 on the route, 24-hour traffic center.
All right, thanks, Mark. All right, step towards calming tensions in the region. With us now to talk about it is political strategist Gary Trago. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So good to have you. So this deal to end Hezbollah across the Lebanese-Israeli border there, how is it expected to remain peaceful?
Well, it's supposed to affect at 4 a.m. Beirut time, which is just in a few hours. That's 6 o'clock in the evening here. And it's an initial 60-day ceasefire with the hope that it will become permanent.
Okay, and one thing that President Biden did not mention today in his address was Hamas. And I know Hamas and Iranian proxies may be going to stand down. I really don't know. I'm not sure that anybody else does know. How is that going to happen, and is that a possibility?
Ultimately, it is a possibility. When it's going to happen, nobody knows. But the importance of what just happened is the Hezbollah, which is a proxy for Iran and supportive, obviously, of Hamas, is coming to terms on a ceasefire with Israel, and that is potentially the starting point, the first step in getting Hamas and Israel to cut a deal and hopefully avoiding an all-out war between Israel and Iran. So it's one step at a time, and this is an important step. But there's all these pieces that have to fit together in sequence.
What do you think would be the next step after today?
I think that after today, we're going to have to make sure that the ceasefire holds, obviously, but assuming it does, I think the next step will be that a whole bunch of countries are going to put a lot of pressure on Hamas and Israel to come to a similar agreement and a ceasefire.
If the ceasefire doesn't hold, do you think the U.S. will get involved?
I do not believe the U.S. will get involved if you mean sending in ground troops. It's just that's inconceivable. I think it's just not going to happen. If the ceasefire does not hold, well, the U.S. and France is very much involved in this as well. And the Saudis are in the background. They will undoubtedly weigh in to try to get things back on track. But I certainly, I think inconceivable to just let everybody that we would commit troops in the Middle East in this situation.
President Biden also mentioned, really what alluded to the Abraham Accords, trying to get Saudi Arabia and Israel together and try to put that through. Is that kind of part of this package, or is that something that's completely separate?
No, it all fits together because all these things are intertwined, and it's a great question. The Saudis and the Israelis, at least as far as we can tell from what we're told, want to come to terms and normalize relations, but they can't do that until these other preconditions are met in order to save face and not look like they're caving to the other side.
Right, and there has been some backlash to this by Israeli people who live there. They're not all sort of on board with this, correct?
Oh, absolutely right. No, I mean, the Israelis are just like everybody else. I Americans obviously included, they can get pretty divided. And there are far right-wing Israelis who are opposed to this. They don't want to cut Hezbollah any slack. On the other hand, we don't see a whole lot of coverage of this, but there are a lot of Israelis who've been protesting for peace. So, you can't please all the people all the time, but it looks as though Netanyahu has made a decision that he thinks would be supported by most of the country. It was approved by his cabinet, and that's obviously critical.
Do you think there's a timetable that's involved here in terms of getting these hostages back home?
Extracting them in ones and twos, and they're very hard to find, and it's a very difficult ruling process. So I don't know that there's any definitive answers. As soon as there's a peace agreement between Hamas and the Israelis, if that can happen, we'll presumably see the remaining hostages out, but nobody can tell us that will be.
Strategist Jerry Schragle, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
What is up? It's F11 from social media's LA in a minute. There's history everywhere if you know where to look. Join me Tuesdays and Thursdays on KNX News and learn what you didn't know you needed to know about the things that make LA so unique and amazing. It's LA in a minute on TikTok and Instagram, right here on KNX News 97.1 FM. Brought to you by MechaniCars.com with 9 dealerships in LA and Orange County.
Replacing your teeth with a dental implant's GPS smile is about more than just teeth.
I do wish I started losing the teeth. I'm too young. I'm very thankful because this really changes a person's life.
Teeth is what we do, but at the end of the day, it's not really what it's about. It's about patient confidence.
DentalImplantsGPS.com provides people with missing teeth, failing teeth, or unstable dentures full mouth dental implants. Call 800-863-9300 today.
Oh, you know, this really changes your life.
The approach that we take towards patients is one of guidance. The patient is the center of our universe. That's where we go towards GPS, because we guide patients along this journey to their better future, to their newfound confidence.
Don't wait. Call Dental Implants GPS and get your free educational book with important dental implant information. Call 800-863-9300. That's 800-863-9300.
It's LA in a minute on KNX News 97.1 FM.
What is up? This is Evan Lovett with LA in a minute here from KNX News 97.1 FM. Do you know that the oldest restaurant in Los Angeles County is 137 years old? That's right. Just off Bastrop Parkway in Saugus, you'll find the Saugus Cafe. Began in 1887 as Toll-Free Saugus Eating House. James Toll-Free opened the restaurant as part of the new train depot of the Southern Pacific Rail Network, and it was only the second building in Saugus at the time. In 1900, new ownership changed the name to the Saugus Cafe, and it became popular in the 1930s and 40s during the rise of Western filming, which brought actors and crews to the greater Santa Clarita Valley. Saugus Cafe became a new kind of hub for the entertainment industry. Clark Gable and John Wayne and Marlene Dietrich all spent hours there away from set. After a few more ownership changes in 1998, Gay Libby and longtime bartender Alfredo Mercado bought the 24-hour eatery and still remain owners and guardians of this vital piece of LA County history. All right, LA, it's been a minute. Or check out my podcast, In a Minute with Evan Lovett, on your Odyssey app, or wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you follow LA in a Minute on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Evan Lovett, KNX News 97.1 FM.
It is 2:25, the holiday traffic rush underway. Brian Douglas, what's happening? Brought to you by the downtown LA Log Accident and Injury Attorneys.
Yeah, starting to see folks leaving work early, maybe just trying to get out of town. That 5 North now is going to be heavy in Sun Valley. 170 goes up past Sherman Way. And then from that point, really on and off slowing all the way up to the 14 freeway. Once you clear the 14, your Grapevine Drive looks good. 14 looks good as well. The 15, if you're leaving on the 15, it is going to be slow right before Glen Helen. On that northbound side, because southbound side, we had a right lane taken away. They might have wrapped that up. This is where the big rig went off the freeway yesterday and caused that big mess. Well, it's still causing a big mess southbound as well, just before you get to Ranchero Road, where 395 joins you. So that's going to take a little time on that 15 freeway. 210 is just a crawl eastbound, just past Brand. So you're leaving the Azusa area, middle lane's blocked with a crash. and that's got you slow coming out of downtown Pasadena. Even your westbound side is going to be extremely slow as well. 605 slowing from Beverly on down. The 110 southbound, we still have, unfortunately, two right lanes blocked at Florence due to an earlier crash. And now northbound, right at Manchester on the 110 freeway, another crash. 5 to 6 cars here. Left lane, middle lane, I'm told being blocked. CHP may not even be there yet. Northbound side of the 110 coming off the 105 is going to be extremely tough. If you've had an accident, injury, a slip, a fall, been victimized by a tree, that's free case review. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes advice from Simpson Automotive Group. To the Robert Trucks.
Mike Simpson here. Talks a lot about what to do if you've got a property that needs a lot of repairs, especially if you want to sell it fast. You call Wedgwood Homes. Our friend Jamie's on the line, Chief Operating Officer. Jamie, what sets Wedgwood Homes apart from the rest?
A lot of buyers out there who promise the world and then they don't deliver. With Wedgwood Homes, you can count on us delivering. One that comes to mind is a property in San Diego. This poor seller had been through the ringer with multiple other cash buyers who said they were going to give them a certain amount and then they came back and reduced the price. And he was so happy to finally find Wedgwood Homes because we gave him a price, he stuck with it, and he closed.
You've got that reputation as the trusted home buyer.
Yes, we are market experts. We've been around 40 years, and we're proud to stand out by providing clear, honest, and a seamless selling process.
Avoid those hassles, avoid those repairs. Get your no obligation all cash offer from Wedgwood Homes at 800-781-9600, 800-781-9600. That's 800-781-9600 or wedgwoodhomes.com.
Last year's RV trip, we met a couple with the same bumper sticker. What are the odds?
Your cousin isn't a good storyteller.
He was a podiatrist, or was it a pharmacist?
You know that.
I can't remember.
She owns an RV protected by Progressive, and you don't. So until you get your own RV, her stories are the most interesting stories you've ever heard.
Wow, interesting.
And when you do get your own RV, save money by bundling it with your own auto or other vehicles with Progressive.
Oh, anesthesiologist. He was an anesthesiologist.
Prescription by insurance company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescription training for online consultation. Advanced care provider will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at Hims. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to Hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start a free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-966-3144. That's 800-966-3144. 800-966-3144.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Old car giving you problems? Why not donate it? Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS today.
From KNX News 97.1 FM.
This is Countdown 2024.
You're Charles Feldman and Margaret Carrero.
And sitting at the Margaret today is Larry Perrella. Hey, Larry. Hey, Charles. On today's Countdown 2024, politics and family haven't been good mix for generations, but something about Donald Trump seems to have turbocharged those age-old family debates, and not exactly in a good way. Today we will hear about the various ways people are bracing for, or in some cases outright avoiding, talking politics around the holiday dinner table. But first, Vince.
All right, Trump to Mexico and Canada. I'll slap you with a 25% tariff on all imports. Mexico and Canada to Trump. Yeah, well, guess what? We can do the same thing. Trump wants the tariffs because he says it'll force Mexico and even Canada to stop the flow of immigrants as well as fentanyl into the U.S. Mexico The president saying that, well, again, not tariffs is the answer.
Meantime, U.S. auto executives warned their industry could hit the brakes if the Trump tariffs are imposed on Mexico and Canada. Turns out both of these countries supply auto components that go into some of our favorite vehicles.
And usually when a president-elect picks people to fill key positions, the FBI takes a close look at them to make sure they won't be a security threat. But Trump says he plans to break with this protocol. His nominees will apparently be given instant security clearances and vetted only after Trump becomes president again.
Okay, Thanksgiving is proving to be a real turkey when it comes to relationships. And it's all because of the Trump divide. Those who voted for him and those who voted for, well, someone else. Navigating political family feuds, the theme of today's show. We start with Andrea Tate. She is a published essayist and university professor. After the election, HuffPost Personal published her essay titled "My Husband and His Family Voted for Trump, so I'm canceling Thanksgiving and Christmas," which went viral with over 1 million views within a few days. Also with us is clinical psychologist Dr. Kenneth Barish, author of the book Bridging Our Political Divide. He's a professor at Cornell University. Both of you, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Good to
Thank you. Nice to be here. So, Andrea, I read your essay, and the title, I guess, is self-explanatory, but explain why you feel that you cannot go to, I guess it's your husband's family Thanksgiving dinner. Is that right?
Yeah. And the headline doesn't really explain the whole article. The article really is about, like, hey, we can stay together, we can get through this. Let's not let this blow up our whole family, relationship, marriage. But when you're the only person in a room of, let's say, a dozen or more people that have voted for the other candidate, who wants to be around that? It's not a very comfortable situation, right? So, let them celebrate, and I'll stay home. I'm fine.
Yeah, look, I think your article was insightful in many ways. I think in terms of how politics can, drive a stake between people you love or your friends that you're friends with. So how do you remove that aspect so that you can continue to put precedence on your relationships instead of your political differences?
I think, what we finally came to is we just don't talk about politics. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do, but I don't see any other way around it. I'm not going to change my beliefs, and from where I can see, he's not going to change his. So let's move away from that topic. That's how I deal with it. I don't know how others do.
Well, I was going to say, and then I want to get to Dr. Barish in a minute, but I was going to say that there are families, political families, and Kennedys come to mind, that pride themselves in disagreements and having vigorous debates at the table, and I presume even during holidays at the table. Isn't that, in some ways, a healthier way to deal with it?
I mean, maybe for some people, but I guess it really depends. I mean, when you're arguing about something where maybe the other side is just listening to one news station, then it's really hard to argue.
Yeah, Dr. Barish, Dr. Kenneth Barish on with us as well, clinical psychologist. I know several people who, regardless of whether they make a statement in favor or against, feel maybe compelled to post them on social media. This might inflame those conversations that we might have around the dinner table this holiday.
So, first I would a solution to the problem. If Andrea has a solution that requires her not to be around a Thanksgiving table with 15 people who all disagree with her, I would not make any judgment about that. But I do think that we can try to answer your question. A social media post is not going to be helpful, because a social media post is an opinion, and it's going to be an adamant opinion. And if we are going to have a better form of conversation, we have to move away from opinions. We have to move away from actual debates and move instead towards a dialogue. Dialogue is very different. Debate, I feel I have my opinion, I'm right, I'm going to try and convince you that I'm right and that you're wrong. And that rarely helps, even in less polarizing issues. It's certainly not going to help in our most polarizing time. Yeah, but if people don't, and again, I agree with you, if what works for Andrea works for Andrea, then great. But if people, by and large, avoid going into situations where there might be a difference of opinion, even if they're very strongly held opinions, how do you have that dialogue? You never do. Well, no, you go into I'm not saying avoid avoid the situations, but if you go into the situation, go into it differently. Don't go into it seeing it as an argument or a debate. Go into it with an attitude of listening. What can I learn from this person? What can I actually understand better about why they feel the way they do? Andrea, would that work for you?
I have done that, and because, I truly believe that we all want the same thing. We all want our families to be safe. We all want to have a roof over our heads. We all want the same thing, but we have very different opinions on who can help us do that. So where do you go with that?
So, Dr. Yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. So, again, for Dr. Barish, how do you then, if things become a little bit heated, how do you, and you're keeping an open mind, how do you then sort of navigate to sort of like bring that heat down, if things become inflamed?
So if we're moving towards listening and trying to understand why another person feels the way they do, right? Why does Andrea's husband support Donald Trump? What really are his reasons? What are his concerns? If we move away from opinions towards the underlying concerns, we're likely to find a little bit of common ground. And if we can find a little bit of a shared concern that changes the nature of the discussion, it then becomes more of a dialogue, less of a debate. And even if this is very hard to do, I'm not saying that this is an easy solution, but if we can do it even part of the time, we've softened the argument. And that can make a very big difference. We're talking again with Dr. Kenneth Barish, who is author of the book, Bridging Our Political Divide, and we also are talking with Andrea at an article that went rather viral called My Husband and His Family Voted for Trump, so I'm canceling Thanksgiving and Christmas. Andrea, do you foresee a time, any time in the near future, when you will be able with your husband to go to these family events?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this isn't like, hey, I'm done. This was just, I need a little space. I need to process these feelings. I need to process, how I'm going to navigate this in the next 4 years. But, totally part of my family's celebrations again. This was just for now.
And what about at home? Because the article did sort of describe in kind of detail about how that divide between you and your husband, because of your political differences, had kind of kept you somewhat separated even at home. So have things changed since then?
Well, it was some ride that whole week after the essay came out. There was lots of hate mail, and my husband and I were actually, laughing at some of these ridiculous things that came at me from some of the comments. But, it's an up and down. It's agreed, let's stay away from it, we're fine. Everything is fine at home. Everything is fine.
And there's something that you share. You share a dislike of the hatred.
Yes, exactly.
So again, if you, in my approach, if you can have more of a dialogue, you can find something that you share. Actually, a very important thing that you share, which is the hatefulness that becomes so prevalent in our society.
All right, we've been speaking with Dr. Kenneth Barish. He's a clinical psychologist, and Andrea Tate, who wrote an article in the Huffington Post about the election itself. Folks, thanks so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. Well, we heard one approach to navigating potential political strife at the holidays, just avoid it altogether. But what happens if you decide to head to that potentially combative family dinner? We'll discuss some coping skills next.
It's Countdown 2024
on KNX News 97.1 FM.
Keys Toyota. Keys Toyota.
Our Black Friday sale is on all month long at Keys Toyota. Source for great Toyota deals for over 60 years.
Keys Toyota.
Dr. Charles Mager at Saddleback Eye Center wants to give you the all-new Laser Light LASIK exam. The Laser Light LASIK exam uses a laser to measure your eyes over 1,000 times to perfectly map your vision. I can give away a Laser Light LASIK exam to the first 14 KNX callers only, so stand by. You'll get a phone number in moments for the Laser Light LASIK exam. It's important, whether you have nearsightedness, farsightedness, astigmatism, or you just need reading glasses. And if you've been told that you're not a candidate for LASIK, you may now qualify for it with the accuracy of the Laser Light LASIK exam. It'll take over 1,000 measurements of your eyes. You must be one of the first 14 callers. This is free. Call now, 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444.
This year, American farmers will harvest 2.8 billion bushels of wheat and 15.1 billion bushels of corn. And to this day, American road workers have built 4.2 million miles of roads and counting. We're proud that John Deere machines rolling off the line here in the USA play a part in supporting Americans who work the land and build a better tomorrow. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/manufacturing.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Gentlemen, how's your love life? Not what it used to be? There's a way to fix it. For over 20 years, Boston Medical Group has delivered a simple and effective solution for ED, proven to work when all else has failed. It's ICP, also known as ED shots or Trimix. ICP uses a custom blend of FDA-approved medications specifically formulated to restore healthy blood flow where you need it most. In fact, ICP works for 98% of men in just a few minutes, regardless of age or medical conditions. Our telemedicine platform now brings this virtually 100% effective solution right to your doorstep. Medication is good for 1 year, and there's free formula upgrades for those who need more potent results. Our Thanksgiving special, new patients receive 10 free extra doses of ICP medication when signing up for the program. Call 800-896-3100. 800-896-3100. That's 800-896-3100. Or visit bostonmedicalgroup.com. That's bostonmedicalgroup.com.
For all station contest rules, go to knxnews.com/rules.
All right, 2:45, time for a look at traffic. Here's Brian Douglas. At 110 north in Manchester, still have 3 left lanes taken away. Some pretty serious crash here. Your 110 north from the 105 is going to be extremely slow. Southbound, we had a problem at Florence. That's cleared, but out of downtown, damage done. Really slow. The 405 into the valley, you've got slowing that begins at Century Boulevard. And it's going to stay tough all the way across the valley for you. Get a couple little breaks there, and of course you hit that 5, that North 5 now. At a Sun Valley, before the 170, you've got slowing all the way into the Newhall Pass. We have some light rain falling here. Now's about the time we're going to see some of that rain. And some fog as well, so be careful while you're driving. If you're on the 210, you're going eastbound just past Brand, heading into the... You're out of Pasadena. It's going to be a tough drive, unfortunately, for you. Really, really slow. Mike, let me know, South 101, right around Santa Monica Boulevard. Looks like we may have had a stall in the left lane. And if you're in Santa Clarita, you take Golden Valley. Got an overturned gravel truck there eastbound right before the 14 freeway, so you've got some delays there. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Simpson Automotive Group 24-hour traffic center.
This is Countdown 2024
on KNX News 97.1 FM.
Welcome back to the
マグナットカフェで終わりにすればいいのになと思うんだけどな。どうなんでしょうね。マグナットカフェで終わりがちょうどいいと思うんだけど、一日余計に行ってもしょうがない気がするんだけど、こっちの方でゆっくりした方がいいような気がするけど。
How do you best gird yourself for potential political combat with those that are closest to you?
Dr. Kenneth Barish, clinical
今日
psychologist.
バグダッドカフェで、明日ビクタービル、
with us in Countdown 2024.
明後
We
日
are also bringing into the
サンバーナーディ
Lizzie
の
Post. She's the
それ
great
で前の晩がどっか
Post and author of
パサデナとか
Etiquette
ダウンタウンの
and
近所とか
co-president of the
それちょうどいいんじゃないかと思うんですけど
Institute.
ね
Lizzie, thanks for being with us too.
Thank you so much for having me.
バグダッドカフェのエアストリームで寝させてもらえればいいのにね。よくに言ってみます。
She doesn't want to get into a whole argument with them. But suppose you do venture into what perhaps politically you consider, enemy territory. How do you handle it?
まだだって30マイル近くあるけど、50マイル行ってもバーストに真夜中に着くよりは、明日朝バグダッドカフェ出て、バースト抜けて、ビクタービルまで、旧道を通ってっていうのがいいんじゃないかなと思う。そこしかないのに、街の方に降りてもしょうがないっていうか、最後のルート66、そこを楽しんでほしいな。
But I think it's important to play those good guest roles, showing up with a smile on your face and ready to celebrate.
予定があるんだったらですけどね。
Ready to immediately
そうそう、1日間違えたって言ってるでしょ。
Andrew actually
どう考えてもだから1日余るのは絶対余るはずだから、どうしても行かなきゃいけない理由があるんだったらだけど、そうじゃないんだったら、間で1回ビクタービル入れたらいいんですよ。今日だからバグダッドカフェでちょうどいいですよ。そうするとちょうど50マイルになるんですよ。今日50マイル、明日50マイル、で、明後日もそんぐらい、ちょうどいいはずなんですよ。もったいないですよ。もったいない。
How they're sympathetic with, I don't know, deportation. What do you do then? You keep smiling?
I think you do your best. I mean, it is. It's really hard when it's your host who's directing that conversation because often we say the host is the one who should direct the conversation. If they're directing it in the direction you don't want it to go, that is a more difficult scenario. But I would say that if anything becomes so
この砂漠の景色、ゆっくり楽しんでほしい。さっき言ってたよね、ママチャリの方がスピードが遅くて楽しめる。俺じゃちょっと走りすぎてるよね。
And I think that if you can find a way to talk about your views on that subject, I think calmly without getting too angry.
真っ暗い中ね、昨日のところはまあね、どうしてもロイズまで行かなきゃいけなかったから、それはそれでいいんですよ。今日だからそのバーストまで行く意味ってあんまりない気がする。約束があるんだったらあれですけど、それよりバグダッドカフェで一泊する方が思い出になると思う。
Oh, the tension right in there. You don't want to follow that at the table, but it's also not your place as the guest to correct the host.
Right, exactly. So on that point,
これ今走ってるとこがそんなにね真っ暗になって走ってももったいないだけじゃないですかこれ。
Should there be like similar to a boxing match or a UFC event, like no headbutting, no eye gouging or ear biting? Should it be included in your invite before people even show up?
一生に1回しか走れないところだから。
That's one where I think it's hit or miss. Some families that might be worthwhile to say, hey, we'd really love to leave politics away from the Thanksgiving table this year, and that's perfectly fine to do if you'd like to. I'd rather think that people are going to show up with their best behavior and not go there. I mean, one of the classic conversational etiquette points is that, like, politics, religion, sex, relationships, these are conversations we don't have at the table. It's not that we can't But it's that we recognize they are more personal. They deal with our ideology. They deal with our identity. And I think that makes it a harder conversation for a casual, fun, jovial, welcoming environment.
All right, we're going to finish off our guide to mixing politics and family over the holidays next.
This is Countdown 2024
on KNX News 97.1 FM.
The Legal Minute with attorney Joseph S. Normand.
Hi, I'm personal injury attorney Joseph S. Normand. You probably heard a lot of radio ads for lawyers, including mine, but you might still wonder, what does a personal injury attorney even do, and why would I need one? Let me explain. I help people who are injured by someone else's negligence. Whether it's a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, slip and fall, or dog bite, my duty is to guide you through the legal process, deal with the insurance companies, and make sure you get the compensation you deserve. So when should you call a PI attorney? Anytime you're in an accident that's not your fault. I'll be by your side fighting for the compensation you deserve. Give me a call. Let's talk about your situation and how I can help. If you've been injured, call me, Joseph S. Normand. 213-747-2000. 213-747-2000. 213-747-2000 or normandlegal.com.
If you have COPD, here are some reasons to go see your pulmonologist today. 1. Those flare-ups you keep having, they have the chance to cause permanent lung damage. 2. We now know a certain type of inflammation.
National Trails Highway, Route 66, right here. Newberry Springs.電波入らない。うるさい。AM 電波入らないんだ。これか。電波終わりの出ない。バグダッドカフェ寄ってどれ借りようかな。ラジオのニュース入らなくなっちゃう。 止まってるよ。観光バス止まってるよ。いやー、ここでいいと思うのね。ここで今晩、ここでいいんじゃない？バグダッドカフェ到着。ここでいいんじゃないですか、本当にね。と思うんだけど、どうでしょう。いやー、ここで一泊してほしいな、俺は。観光バス来てる。バグだ。よいしょ。ちょっとトイレ休憩しよう。ドイツ人っぽいな、このバス。ヨーロッパ人、ドイツ人じゃないですかね。みんなね。ちょっとトイレ休憩してきます。山彦するかな、これかけてたら。ラジオ入らないから、もうこっから先りょうくんのしよう。ジャストフォーファンでもいいけど、このまんまアクロスアメリカのまんま行こうかな。寒いから外出たら上着ないけど、上着ないで行こうか。アクロスアメリカ来たもん。観光バスいましたね、観光バス。先におばちゃんとおじちゃん捕獲しときました帰らないで店開けといてって言っときました 2回ぐらいちょっと通り過ぎようかなバレるかな、バレないように2回ぐらいそのまんま素通りします。まだあそこだもんな。いやー大変よこれ、ほんと大変、半端なく大変。あそこ過ぎたのか、あそこでもいいな。あそこに行くまでちょっと時間かかりすぎるから、その手前のここにしよう。ここでだね。あれば一応確認しとかないと。消えてるんだよね、これじゃね。こっちあれやりけど。あそこにあるんだけど、消えてなきゃいけない。何にもない、本当何にもないよ。ああ、そうそう、切れてると思ってなかったんですけど、切れてました。すみませんね。おばさん、アンジーさんだっけ、おばさんね。あの人に後で夜から帰らないでって言うときました開けといてって。大変よ、本当にこれ自転車、ね、まあそれ人力車に比べたらね、自転車だけど大変ですよ、この道をずっと走ってくれて、本当に自転車だからまだ2時間かかるでしょう。夕暮れまでにバグダッドカフェに着けばもう今日はそこでいいんじゃないですかねって思うんですけど、多分まだ25マイルぐらいあるはずなんですよね、軽く。だからちょうど日暮れ暗くなるぐらいの時間帯がちょうどあれなんじゃないかなと思って。俺もこれ車どこで止めようかなって思うぐらいですよ、本当に。バグダッドカフェまで戻ってそこから自転車に乗り換えて出直しって言っても相当走らされそう、10マイルぐらい走らなきゃいけないったらちょっと大変すぎるよな。どっかこの辺で多分車止めといて先まで行って戻ってくるねってぐらいにしないとなんかとんでもなく大変、これ半端ないですよ、本当に半端ない。よく走ってきましたよ、本当に。 かるやつ。そうそう、ちょうどだからね、今3時でしょう。夕暮れ時がバグダッドカフェ、ちょうどいいんじゃないかと思うんですけどね。でもうあそこでとりあえずエアストリームでゆっくりさせてもらうっていうんでいいんじゃないかと思うんですけど、どうでしょう。ちょっとりょうくんに言ってみよう。これでどうでしょうか。ご提案がありますけどって。車が来ないのはいいですけどね、ここはね。危なくないけど、全然車来ないから。ただ、ね、バグダッドカフェから向こうはね、結構車が通るから、明るい道走った方がいいと思うけどな。気が遠くなりますよ、これ。本当に気が遠くなるから。ここで今のところでどうがあるんだろう。ここで今のところでここで12マイルですね。ここで12マイル。12マイル車だったらさだけど。この出口のところで13マイルかな、これで。これね、車だったら10何分だけど、大変本当に。次の町まで10マイルだもん。いやー、向かい風だし。結構風強いですよ、外は。いや今日はもうあれですよ、バグダッドカフェで、ね、ご提案。大変ですよ、これ、実際。10マイル自転車焦げるかな10マイル自転車焦げるかな。今のあそこのところで待ち伏せしてあそこから一緒に走るかな、じゃないと車どうするかっていう話もあるしね。大変ですよこれ。66あったな。ちょっと私ですけど。 あ、違う。そう、12マイル20キロ。大変ですよ、だから本当に。25マイルっつうと45キロぐらい ?40 キロ。20マイルだと32、20で32、8、40キロだよね。大変ですよ、本当。完璧したハイスクールも。バグダッドカフェでね、一晩寝て星空でも眺めてもらってそれがいいと思うけどな。いやー、すごい道っすよ、ほんと。あ、ここにもあった。ここにもあった。ここは印つけてるわ。あ、もうじゃあもう一つあるのもその先か。前走った時に66の道路の66のマークのところ印つけといたんですけどね。新しいの見つけたから今さっき印したけど、今あったやつはつけてますね。その先にもあるんですけど、これ野宿に最適っすよ、ほんとね。今日はギブアップしましょう。で、線路を渡って 腹空いてるじゃない。休憩させてあげよう。だいぶ近づいてきましたね。バレるかな一発でバレるかどうだろうそろそろそこの先でくぐりますよ。りょうくん側にくぐりますから、そろそろあそこの陸橋くぐるんじゃなかった。陸橋の上ですね。これでりょうくん側に出ます。いるかな、見えるかな。このちょっと高台になってるからいたら見えそうだけど、いないかな、どっか。どこにいるんだろう。お危ない危ない。よそ見してたら崖の下に落ちるとこだって。あ、橋見えるね。あれかなあ、いるわ。いる。橋、いる。あー、見える。真正面。あそこにいますよ。あー、これじゃあギリギリ。どうなんだろう。見えないかな。どこ行った？先の脇。そこにいます。戻ったかな。ほら、戻った。あそこにいます。小さく。これ。どういった？あそこにいる。こっから坂だもんな。しゃ。さあ、じゃあ捕獲第1弾スライドしましょう。スライド1回目。どこで気がつかれるかな。スライド1回目いきます。知らん顔して通り過ぎよう全然知らん顔して通り過ぎちゃおう。まずはさあ、目の前に出てきますよ。ほらあ、下向いてた。気づかれなかった下向いてた。気づかれなかった。ああ、見えた車映った今 りょうくんの配信にさあどうしよう、こっからどうしましょう。あそこ今橋渡ってるところ行ったらバレそうだな。橋渡ってるとこ行ったらバレそう。
車でまた戻してくれる。おいやりそれは別にまあありっちゃありだけど進みたいですよね。でもまだ諦めません。ギリギリまで諦めません。
諦めないって
無理だっただけ。
いや下向いてこいでた。あ、止まってるじゃないですか。近づいたらなんつってんのサーフさんは。おお、そういうことか。うわやばいやばいやばい。あそこに止まってた。やばい、見つかっちゃう。やばい。
いやー、でまあギブアップなんですけど、いやまずいこれは。
いやこの風じゃ無理でしょ。すごい風強いもん。昨日と同じですよ。むっちゃ砂漠。
いけるとこまでは行けますよ。ちょっとキープレスト。あ、センキューバッチ。センキュー、ハロー、センキューさん、ハローさん、センキュー。ちょっと待ってよ。あ、仕事行ってきます。センキュー。頑張ってください。センキューさまち。いやー、これはね、なかなかですね。
さっきの橋の向こう側のルート66のサインのところで、そこにしようかな。
あと2分ぐらい。Where are you? I'm in the... Now is Rabic. Now is Rabic.
お腹空いてるかな。もうバラしちゃうか。止まってる間にね。いやーもうバラしちゃおう。あ、便所行ったんやん。
水飲みすぎたか。
便所行きたいって。トイレ行きたいって、これ俺目の前にいるとバレちゃう。
人がいたから無理でした。今気づいた。
じゃあ走るか。通り過ぎよう。通り過ぎよう。通り過ぎよう。
ちょっと休憩しましょう。ライブしながら応援してます。ありがとうございます。
トイレできなかったって言ってあ、気がついた。気がついちゃった。じゃあ戻るか。逆捕獲されちゃった。
今気づいた。いつからいたんだろう。全然気づかない。
しょうがないね。
気づいちゃった。どうしよう。
ありがとうございます。
いや、さっきすれ違ったんだけど、
はい、
で、そこの草場の陰に隠れてたんだけど、
いついたんですか？
いや、つい前、5分ぐらい前。で、U ターンして、追っかけようと思ったら、ちょうどここに止まったから、あそこの陰に隠れてて。で、行こうかなって思ったらトイレ行くって言うから、じって止まってたら見つかっちゃった。お腹空いてるでしょ。はい、ねえ、食べるよ今。
いいっすか？
持ってきたから。
うわ、ありがとうございます。
だからもうちょっと先で捕獲しようと思ったんだけど、もうお腹空いてんだろうなと思ったから。ね。
いいですか？
ちょっとじゃあ車止めるね、そっちに。
ありがとうございます。いいですか？マジですか？うわ、ありがとうございます。
ぶっちゃけ、いいですか？ありがとうございます。
よいしょ。
ありがたいです。
よいしょ。よいしょ。
僕の T シャツ。うわ、ありがとうございます。
来たよ、ちゃんと。
うわ、ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
まだ着てないんですよ。大丈夫。マジですか？自分着てないんですけどね。うわ、きれい。ジャパニーズフード。これ全部食べる。血だけ？そうですか。やば。うわ、これはやばい。ジャパニーズフード。うわ。やば。そうなんですか。
そうですね。多分アリゾナの方行っちゃいます。そうなんですか。ぶっちゃけ言っていいですか？そのハンバーグ食べたいです。
何でもいいです。
開けて。
ありがとうございます。
フォークあったんです。
これで。
何でもいいです。いつぶりの日本食、ジャパニーズフード。ありがとうございます。じゃあここで。全然大丈夫です、ここで。
何しよう。 フォーク。もう一本ないかな。ない。何本ぐらいあった？あ、よしよし。お茶いる？りょうくん、お茶は？おい、お茶あるよ。あるよ、あるよ。ちょっと待ってね。 そ 好きなだけあげるけど。
いや、コメントでめちゃあるよってお聞きしましたけど、そこさえされたかなって。
いや、サーフさんがいると思ったからね。そう。袋あった方がいいよね。袋持ってくれば、ちょっと待って、あるかな。ビニール袋。これある？あ、ゴミより。これじゃあ、この中に袋作れる。好きなだけ。詰めれるだけ、福袋じゃないけど。
今日も全然困らないです。
でも夜はあの人優しくいるんだよね。ウッドチャックさんが夜はなんかご飯用意してるって言ってたよ。だからこれ明日の朝ごはんでも食べる。それでも全部好きなんだ。Yeah, this for his breakfast and something. Yeah. 何俺、りょうくんにお願いしたいミッションがもう一個あるんですよ。
何ですか？
行ったらわかるんだけど、先にこういうところにルートしていくって書いてあるじゃないですか。あそこのところを押してるシーンを一緒に撮ってほしい。
ぜひ。
いいですか？俺さ、もうあそこ今からね、そこ上がって、あそこ上がって今度反対側になるんだけど、その先にあるんですよ。場所分かるから、俺ちょっと先に行って準備してるから。
わかりました。
それをやって
了解です。
よくこうやってくれたら、それを2人で並んで、
いいっすね。
やりたいですけど。いいっすか？
どうぞ。
じゃあ俺あっちで準備しますから。い
や、本当ごちそうさまです。
あ、これ。いや、
本当にごちそうさまです。
じゃあ俺先行ってやってますから。だね。 もう真っ暗になっちゃったなこれ。どこ行ったよ。だいぶ暗くなっちゃった。暗くなるの早いですよね、本当に。もう日暮れちゃった。もう一つやりたいことあって、頼んだんですけど、ちょっとそこのところに来るまでだいぶちょっと途中でなんか配信が切れてた。もう本当日暮れました。真っ暗ですよ。日暮れるの早い。もうまだ4時半なのにもう日が沈みました。こっちはエレよりも日が沈むの早い。
Please
もうなんか旅行者の旅人のバスでしたね、今ね、すれ違ったけど。あれどこだったっけ？あれなかったよ。あれ過ぎた？どっちがいいかな。なかったよ。この印のところにはないんだよな。消してあるんだよね、もうね。この印のところにはない。この次だね。そしたらこの次だ。この次のやつ。これどうしようかな。これ切り替えようか、そのまんまにしようか。あった、ここだ。反対向きだけど、どっち向きでもいいんじゃない？ちょっともっとずっと先。さあ、それではちょっと準備するけど寒いんだよな。来たら暑いかな。なんだろう。さあちょっとここで一旦切り替えて、りょうくんスペシャルにしますね、この後。せっかくだから、全然まだまだね。せっかくだから、りょうくんスペシャル、ここからはね。ちょっと一回切ります。